Welcome to Health Coach for Women, a podcast where we explore alternative and holistic solutions to better health and wellness through intentional living. Now, here's your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker.
Of all the forms of inequality, injustice in health is the most shocking and inhumane. And this is by Martin Luther King Jr. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Health Coach for Women, a podcast where we explore alternative and holistic solutions for better health and wellness. And today I'll be discussing the topic of energy drinks and the dangers you should know about them. All right, so first thing I want to say is before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Energy drinks. How often do you have energy drinks? Let's talk about that. Let's dive into that. All right. First of all, about energy drinks. They're targeted, most of the brands of energy drinks, the majority are targeted mainly towards young people, particularly males. They're targeted particularly to the young people, between the ages of 18 and 34. But there are some companies that want to focus on health conscious consumers as well, with the lure of no sugar, low calorie, and better for you with as far as the ingredients concerned. But let's get into this energy drink stuff, right? There are consequences and health risks when it comes to consuming too many energy drinks. First of all, let's talk about what's inside of them. Well, as far as the health risks, you have short-term effects, long-term, and your sugar content, the impact of high caffeine and sugar content in the body, right? So let me talk about the health risk first, and then I'm going to go into telling you what's inside these energy drinks that you should know about. We know that too much of anything isn't good for you, right? Too much of anything isn't good for you. Keep that in mind. Now, because energy drinks is targeted mainly towards young people 18 to 34, it doesn't mean that older people don't drink them, right? You got people who burn the midnight oil, right? Work late night shifts. I did night shifts. And every now and then I had an energy drink, right? Just so I could have the energy and stay up. One can is what I would have, right? And that was enough for me to last me through the night. And luckily for me, I only did it 2 nights a week. So there was no need for me to do it more than that. And even if I did, I had to find some other way to make sure. And if I didn't have, like I said, if I didn't have the energy drinks, I had to find a way to make sure that I stayed up, right? All right. So let's get into that, right? So the energy drinks, first of all, we know that with the short-term effects, it can increase your heart rate, right? High blood pressure, insomnia, not the inability to be able to get sleep. It can also causes anxiety and also mood swings. All right, also mood swings. Some long-term effects are cardiovascular problems, addiction, and potential liver damage. And I'm going to get into that. All right. So now people just aren't aware. I want to go into the actual ingredients. What are some of the ingredients? Caffeine, right? Caffeine is one of them. And now moderate consumption of caffeine is okay for you, right? I don't want people to think that caffeine is bad for you. Caffeine, actually in a study, they're saying that caffeine could actually help with Alzheimer's and dementia. I think it is a Harvard study, right? That I was reading on. But of course, like I said, too much of anything isn't good for you, right? But we're talking about a cup of coffee, maybe no more than 2 cups, but a cup of coffee, totally harmless, right? But caffeine, now, moderate consumption of caffeine is safe, but excessive caffeine can lead to liver stress as well as toxicity. And high doses of caffeine can cause an increase in liver enzymes, which indicates liver inflammation, liver damage, or inflammation. All right. So we want to refrain from that. Right. Again, like I said, even though the energy drinks marketing is targeted towards younger people, you have older people who drink energy drinks as well, right? Especially you have like people who drive trucks and stuff like that. Those truck drivers, I see them all the time coming into the store to get their energy drinks. What is another thing? Sugar, right? The impact of sugar. Now, there's many of these energy drinks contain a high amounts of sugar, often in the form of high fructose corn syrup. Now we know that that's not good for us, right? The high fructose corn syrup. And excessive sugar consumption is a significant risk factor for developing NALFD. So what is that? I'll tell you what that means. That's non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Okay. Now, niacin. Niacin, which is also known as B3, right? The impact of niacin can convert, what it does is it helps convert food into energy, but it's generally safe. See, everything is usually generally safe when you're having things in moderation, right? In moderate amount. A cup a day, 2 cups of coffee a day. Maybe you just had one energy drink a day. I don't know. Would I could have one energy drink a day? Probably not, right? Now it says excessive intake can lead to liver toxicity, right? Of this niacin. Symptoms of niacin toxicity include liver inflammation, elevated liver enzymes, jaundice, and in severe cases, liver failure. Also, they even add, some energy drink makers can put herbal supplements, right? They try to probably target it to see, oh, we have natural herbs added into it, but they don't tell you the side effects, right? Some energy drinks contains ingredients like guarana and ginseng, which have natural stimulant properties, but these herbs can interact with other substances and lead to liver stress. So remember, excessive intake can contribute to hepatotoxicity, right? Referring to your liver, when combined with other damaging ingredients. So just imagine, right? You have all of these things, and also not to mention artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose, as well as even in alcohol in some products. So just imagine, let's imagine having caffeine, sugar, niacin, ginseng, or guarana, if I'm saying it correctly, aspartame or sucralose, and alcohol. Just imagine all of these different things. Oh, and taurine is another one. Taurine is another one, right? Just imagine all of these things in your drink, and you have this maybe 2 or 3, several times a day, right? Several times a day. What do you think is happening to your body, right? I'm sure you're getting the jitters, right? And when you crash hard, right? So let me just go back here. Some of them are mixing alcohol, right? Now, what if you're taking medication, right? I don't know how much alcohol. I'm presuming a low amount. I don't know, right? But this can be harmful to the liver. Also, taurine is an amino acid. It's found in energy drink, and by itself, they're saying typically it's not harmful, but in high doses, in combination with all these other things, it can contribute to liver stress. Remember, your liver is there to metabolize and to stabilize and to filter out waste, right? But if you keep filling it with all this stuff, I mean, it's like, just imagine if you are stuffing a box or stuffing something, right? A container. You're just stuffing and stuffing. Of course, it can only take but so much, right? And so it's important that we take care of the liver. It's important that we take care of our body in general. But the liver is what filters everything that we take. It filters out all the toxicity. So we want to make sure that we maintain having a healthy liver, right? And these ingredients that I just mentioned to you, combined together, right? As well as in some by itself alone. And I'll just say this. There's this story here I found, and I wanted to add this in here. And this was in Daily Mail in the UK. There was a mother who drank up to 20 cans of Red Bull, and I'm surprised she's even alive to share this story. A mother who drank up to 20 cans of Red Bull a day for 4 years damaged her liver so badly, doctors thought she was an alcoholic, right? And so I went on to read the story about this lady. And wow, it's saying that she was consuming the equivalent of 17 Mars bars of sugar and 16 cups of coffee of caffeine. Did you hear that? This was a daily, and she did this for 4 years, right? And she's in here, they have her name here, Mary Allwood, 26. It's saying that she ballooned from a size 16 to a size 24 due to her addiction. And this is amazing. I can't believe that it went on 4 years, right? She did this for 4 years. Wow. She damaged her liver so badly. But the good thing is she went cold turkey, right? And you can read this if you want, just type in Mary Allwood or a lady who drank 20 cups of coffee a day. I'm sure it'll pull up, right, on the Daily Mail. She was actually able to survive. And they're saying that she went cold turkey and her liver went back to normal. Wow, that's beautiful, right? Because some people aren't that lucky. And she was doing this. Wow, I don't even know how. I mean, it's something. This is just amazing. But you could read the story, you could check it out, and it's crazy. And she was 30s. How old was she? 26. 26. So I don't know why someone would feel. I guess because of the sugar. I don't know all the ingredients in a Red Bull in this energy drink or whatever, but this is crazy. Okay, this is really insane. And also, I wanted to mention that there are no warning labels on here, right? On these energy drinks. They said now when I did a little check, and it says the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, the labeling guidelines are considerably out of date, and they have the same labeling requirements as soft drinks, right? And we know that soft drinks, of course, is loaded with sugar, right? And it's addicting, right? They say it's more addictive than what is it, heroin or cocaine. It's more addictive, right? Sugar, believe it or not. This is really crazy.
If you are struggling with health issues like chronic pain, being held back by past traumas, or feeling overwhelmed and hopeless, please know there is hope. There is help. Transcendence, a woman's guide to healing and self-love for better health, happiness, and abundance, is a blueprint to help you get your life back and reclaim your health. Within its pages, you'll learn how to elevate your existence by shifting your mindset toward the positive, focusing your energy on what's really important, using gratitude to feel deep appreciation, changing your gene expression through epigenetics, building resilience, and living in a state of flow, feeling love overflow within. Go beyond an ordinary life. Transcend. Buy it now.
And it can impact like I mentioned before, it can impact your have issues with your anxiety, sleep disturbance, right? Insomnia, mood swings, right? Crashing after it wears off. And not to mention your heart rate, irregular heart rate, arrhythmia, right? Irregular heart rate, cardiovascular issues, right? As well as your liver. Not to mention if it's interacting with your medications, if you take medications, right? Of what it can do, right? Some of those same things that I just mentioned. So how do we fix this, right? How do we fix this? I mean, what needs to be done? I guess it's just by sharing information. But an addiction, as you know, sharing information is not enough. Sharing information is just not enough because you can tell someone who drinks alcohol, hey, it's legal, right? And you can consume it, right? But it's how much consumption are you consuming, right? Marijuana is now legal in some states, but how much consumption, how much you consume can have some damaging, lasting effects, right? So we can tell someone all we want till we're blue in the face, right? But it's up to them. But they should know, and maybe even have it. And I actually had a coworker that told me that she consumed so much energy drink. She's lucky to be alive. And she was skinny as a toothpick. And I think something is either with her liver, I believe it was her liver also. She had to go to the hospital and she gave it up. And she said, you know what? I'll choose. Right now, she's plump. She said she'll choose being plump rather than risking her life over an energy drink. So now I believe she, from what I remember, she does not drink energy drinks anymore. Okay. So this can have some really bad effects. This can really have, and I wanted to share that because I also seen something online where someone posted an image of, I think it was a young guy or something, and he was on these machines and vents or whatever, and that was the results of drinking energy drinks. So how this young lady that was 26 survived 20 cans a day, I just don't even know how and she did it for 4 years is amazing. I don't even know. But like I said, I don't know the ingredients in the Red Bull energy drink. I don't know, but this is just crazy. We need to make sure that we are being more health conscious. All right. And being more, the younger folks, this is why us as women, right? We need to share our wisdom, our knowledge. We need to share it with the younger generation. Now, all you can do is share it. Now, what someone do with the information, it's totally on them. What they do with it, it's totally up to them. But I wanted to talk about that today because it's so, when I saw the story and when I saw that image of the young man, looked like he was on a ventilator or something. I don't even know, but it was bad. It was bad. It was very disheartening. And reading her story, the dangers of these energy drinks when you consume too much of it. I don't know how someone can drink 20 cans a day. I don't know. I could barely drink 20 cups of water a day. And I love water, but anywho. All right. I just wanted to share that with you guys. And that is why I made the quote. Well, not I made the quote. That is why I read the quote by Dr. Martin Luther King. This quote of what he says when he says, of all forms of inequality, injustice, and health is the most shocking and inhumane. And I say that, and I'm not sure what he meant when he said it, but when I'm reading it and how I'm interpreting it, people, and I'll say these marketing companies, these who sell these products, and not just talking about energy drinks, right? I'm talking about in foods, right? In the food that we eat, whether it's fast food, red food, in food in general, right? And the food that we consume. They are very aware of what long-term side effects of what these things can do. It's all about profit, right? And they have the money to have these big marketing, to spend on marketing, right? And it's tailored to target, whatever they're marketing, whoever they're targeting. In the case of the energy drinks, when they're specifically targeting 18 to 34-year-olds, right? Mostly males are the consumers, mainly, right? But what's inhumane is how someone or company, right? And it's ran by people, humans, right? How it's all about profits, and you can not care of the people that you are selling your products to. And for the FDA to even go further to even add labeling, add sign. I mean, at least you can say, hey, you did something, right? Of course, people are still going to make their own choice in life, right? But what's inhumane is and I would say this for Big Pharma, right? What's inhumane is how you can sell goods to people, medicine to people, and have it overpriced. I mean, this is totally going off topic, but it's related because I'm relating it to this quote. How you can have medicine so high priced that the regular average person isn't afford to purchase it. You have to get a generic brand, if they even have a generic brand, right? Or even and knowing that the long-term side effects or the side effects can be worse than the actual disease of what you're taking it for. So this for me, this is my mission. This is my path. Like, just to educate people on let's just get back to the natural way. It, where was Big Pharma back in whatever, way in the days, right? There was no pharmacy. There was none of that stuff, right? You had your herbal medicine, right? The shamans, the regular doctors that did home visits. They used natural things, natural herbs in treating ailments, right? Instead of relying on um that's how it was then. But right now, I know it's a different time, right? Right now, it's all about profit. But we have to be the smart ones. And those of us who know better, of course, we do better, right? At least we try to make an effort to do better every day and share that with the younger ones, right? Share it with the younger ones. I'm seeing and reading and hearing about people 30 something years old. Why are so many people in their 20s and 30s are obese? In nursing homes because they can't even get out of bed. They can't even walk. I've seen it with my two eyes. I'm from healthcare, being in a nursing home, working in the nursing home, right? We've got to do better, people. Of course, again, we can't force anyone. All we could do is share. Maybe how they had those programs like Scared Straight, where you took some teenagers that was going down the wrong path, right? And took them into the prisons. And, maybe we need to bring some of these folks who's headed in the wrong path on a show where they can come into the nursing home. I don't know, somebody might be stealing my idea, and come into the nursing home and see these young folks, right, on either ventilators, trach machines, trach or ventilator machines, or just in bed. They can't get out of bed, and they're not even 40, and they're not even 50. They're in their 30s and 40s. This is sad. They're very sad. I don't know what's happening. You're seeing it more and more. Ileostomy bags, colostomy bags. I mean, people are having these issues, right? And a lot of it, some have neuro issues, right? A lot of it is linked to the gut, right? And if you go back even further, even with right? People with neurological diseases, right? There's this thing called, I know I'm going off a little bit, but your nerves, right? It's covered with the myelin sheath, right? And these people with the neuro damage, with all these different things that affect neuro, right? The myelin sheath is damaged, right? And what does it stem from? Everything is stemmed from the gut, guys. I want you guys to remember that everything is stemmed from the gut, right? The gut and the brain is not separate. So a lot of these illnesses and disease that you're seeing happening today is because of what we are eating and drinking. The energy drink, right? Liver damage, right? All of these things, remember, it's all about what we are eating and how much we are eating. No one is saying, hey, if you wanted to have a soda, here and there, it's fine. How much are you doing these things? You choose soda over water. You choosing energy drinks over maybe coconut water. We have got to do better, not just for ourselves, but the younger ones. This is sad. It troubles me. It really does. It troubles me to see it. It troubles me to see these things when you're like, what? I'm in 20-something years old. You're having liver failure, liver damage. Kid, what is going on? So I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that today. I just had to share that and put that out there. Let us remember to stay safe, stay healthy. Okay. I'm going to pre-record the next episode because I will be on vacation next week. All right. But I want you guys to just stay healthy, stay well. And until next time, bye for now.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Health Coach for Women with Marsha Roopchand-Walker. If you've enjoyed this episode, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.